The gambling industry, as we know in India, it is relatively popular, but it's mostly illegal. So which means that formal gambling forms a very small part of the total pie or of the total industry. Delta, as we know, is the only listed casino player, and it is a market leader. What is going to be a big game changer for the company is going to be the new casino policy, which could really unlock the potential for the sector as a whole. So for Delta Corp, multiple growth drivers that analysts sometimes believe are not exactly priced in, because remember, the stock on a year basis is down about 20% or so. But the fact that there is rising popularity of Goa and casinos can be a big benefit for the company. There's increasing traffic even when it comes online to its poker site, that's adda52.com. You saw the results that went by just a few weeks ago, where the casino revenues, the gaming revenues were very strong. So you are seeing it continue traction. Margins have been holding out quite healthy. The issuance of the new casino license, it's quite unlikely, but it would be a big trigger for the company. High value option as well from the casino license in Daman, that is much anticipated and a big trigger for the stock, and traction as well in their Sikkim casino. Just to put into perspective what is going to work for the company going forward, according to UBS, they believe it is one of the most attractive gaming stocks globally compared to global players as well on a PE versus growth basis. And that the market right now is not pricing in all of the positives. It's trading at a 20% discount to the 3-year, 1-year forward PE. But analysts are forecasting a CAGR of 27% over FY18 to 20. And they're saying that's a very experienced management, financial strength, quality external auditor, and that provides a lot of comfort. And the fact that, as I've been saying, the Goa government's increasing dependence on the casino industry, that could also reduce uncertainty for the company. Well, yes, I caught up with the man, Jaydev Mody, chairman of the company, who turned his pleasurable pastime into a profit-making enterprise. He talks about his journey, overcoming challenges, online gaming, as well as projections for the company. Listen in.
We are on the ground floor. We just about started the business. The whole industry is maybe 10 years old. And I think this is just the beginning. And it's got a long way to go, but there has to be a lot that has to happen to make it a global kind of business. And the most important one being taxation. We are crazily taxed, and to grow in this environment is extremely difficult, very, very challenging. And if the government realizes that there is a multi-billion-dollar business out there in gaming, which is all grey market or below the radar, and they taxed it appropriately, it would all come into the organized sector, and then the business can grow. It's already existing. The market is there.
I want to talk about another move with respect to Advani Hotels that you had undertaken with the acquisition. Can you just tell us what was the thinking behind that and what prompted it?
Well, we were very keen on acquiring their it was a subsidiary of Advani Hotels, which was called Advani Pleasure Cruise. And there was a partner in that business, an Austrian company, which wanted to exit, so we bought them out. And then bought into the holdco, and then negotiated with the owners, the other 51% of the business, and acquired them. That our main concern was that. And we were also keen on getting hotel room inventory in Goa, and this was a good way to do it. But then it didn't go through, and we got stuck with a 34-35% share, which we continue to hold today.
Okay. Now, you've gone on record to say that you don't like dealing with the hotel business, but of course, both of them can't go one without the other. Why is that? And take us through projections as to how you see the hotel business shaping up for you guys.
Because the hotel business never makes money, according to me. A lot of people claim that they make money in hotels, and that may be true if you hold on to the asset for 20-30 years, where ARRs change from, like it was 30 years ago, it was like 500 rupees for a 5-star hotel room. Today it's 15 to 20,000 rupees. And we are not in the business of hotels. It is complementary to our casino business, where we invest 90% of our capital in hotels and 10% in casinos, and we get 80% of our revenue from the casinos and 20% from the hotels.
And let's talk about the business that you do love, and that is casinos and, you know, the gaming revenues. We have seen, you know, the gross gaming revenues grow, your overall visitations increase. So in terms of numbers, give us some projections. How has the journey been and where do you see it headed?
We started 10 years ago with one casino, then two, then three, and therefore numbers have grown because we've gone from 1 to 3. Then we started a land-based casino in our hotel, which again added to our revenue. We started in Sikkim, which again added to our revenue. And now we are waiting for our license in Daman and opening in Kathmandu, which will again drive revenues. But the business has been growing both ways, organically and inorganically. And we've had a steady 20-25% compounded growth for the past 10 years. And I don't see any reason why we can't keep growing at that pace in the future. We've never not grown by that much. So I think the business is there and we'll keep growing. We just have to keep innovating and keeping our product and our quality of service, etc., right up there. And we think we'll keep growing, yeah.
Now, there is that risk, as you were talking about, there's taxes and there's the political sensitivity when it comes to gambling around India, the regulatory hurdles as well. How do you look at overcoming, and you have been, of course, over the past many years, a lot of these hurdles as a business to sustain?
See, in Goa, it's become part of the economy now.
Yes.
The Goa does not have a lot of taxation or revenue coming in from anything else other than tourism and casinos. See, they've realized that ours is a business. The gambling part is for the customer. For us, we are running a business. It's a numbers game. We have a short 4-5% margin, and that's what we operate on. And we run it like a business. It's not gambling for us, as you know.
Now, the EBITDA margins of the company, they've improved quite meaningfully. You've been talking about how the revenue growth from gaming is going to remain strong. So can we assume then that the margin picture as well will look healthy?
Yes, the EBITDA margins have been pretty steady, and they won't get affected in the future by more than a couple % here or there. And our margins are pretty good. And they could improve only if taxation is rationalized. Recently you saw that they increased the license fee by 200%, in some cases even more. And that really hit us, but we've worked harder to overcome that cost, and we've come out okay, level. And other than that, I don't think there's any other risk to challenge the EBITDA margins that we currently enjoy.
What about online gaming? There's Adda52.com. Is this going to be the next wave of strong growth? Are you seeing a lot of competition here?
In the poker business, which is our Adda52 brand, we are the leaders in the poker business. The next competitor would be 20% of our size. So we don't find too much going on there in terms of competition. But we have two other businesses, which is the Adda Rummy and the fantasy business, where we've started off, and we are startups, and we are fighting to get market share. Very tough business. It's a tough business, yeah.
Now, the Goa government's new casino policy that's likely to be implemented, could that be a game changer for you guys?
Yeah, it would make sense politically, because the Chief Minister has been asked by the people to get the ships moving out of the Mandovi. So he thought the best thing would be to keep it close to the new airport so that the rest of the state doesn't get affected. The travel time is less, there's no traffic in the river, all the allegations on so many other aspects of being in the river goes away. And so it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for the government, for the people, for the industry. There's space to grow, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Now, I understand that you guys are looking at investing something like $150 million over the next 4 to 5 years to construct a 5-star hotel with about 300 rooms. And, you know, is that plan on the anvil, and how will that look to help your overall casino capacity?
I don't know whether you got those numbers from, but yes, we are planning to invest, only subject to the new land policy coming in. we are planning to do an integrated resort, which would have much more than hotels and gaming. It would have a water park and a lot of retail and a convention center, kind of a destination integrated resort. But that all depends on when the casino policy has been announced, and based on that we'll structure our investment and our plan, etc. only after that.
You went through two big events over the last 2 years. There was demonetization and the increase in the license fee. That led to a significant correction, at least in the stock price. Can you tell us a little bit about how you overcame that as a business?
See, demonetization gave us a dip only for a couple of months, because most of our business was again on credit cards, and people could, only the percentage grew, and therefore we recovered pretty fast. We just had to market harder and sell harder, and improve footfalls and work at our top line, and we've recovered that hit substantially. We are still hoping that the government will look at it again and rationalize, because the increase has been many-fold and unreasonable. So I'm sure they'll look at it if they want the industry to survive.
So as Delta Corp right now, what is your vision? Where do you see the company over the next 3 to 4, 5 years?
Well, we'll have multi-location casinos in Goa, in Daman, in Sri Lanka maybe, in Sikkim, in Kathmandu. And the game changer, of course, like you said, may be the casino policy, if that is in line with what we hope it will be. And opportunities will keep coming. We'll keep looking at them seriously and grow.
Jaydev Mody there, speaking exclusively with my colleague Avanne Dubash, talking about the challenges and the opportunities that the business of Delta Corp is currently facing at.